Alrighty, now, right from the very first moment that Disney released their first teaser trailer for the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, it was met with a ton of backlash, as the movie currently sits at an epic ratioing of 1.2 million likes to 3.5 million dislikes, making it the most disliked movie trailer on YouTube as it were. Ever. Now, this is happening in spite of the fact that many of these media outlets, whether it be access media or mainstream media, were scrambling to actually silence the fans, calling the fans racist. And so you have articles like this from the Vox. The racist backlash to The Little Mermaid and The Lord of the Rings is exhausting and extremely predictable. Also, CNN jumped in by saying analysis, a definite rebuttal to every racist Little Mermaid argument. And Daily Beast, that happens to be a major corporate shield for most of these Hollywood corporations, said the racist backlash to Halle Bailey's The Little Mermaid is out of control. And of course, Screen Rant throw their own little 2 cents in there, saying The Little Mermaid racist backlash slammed by Daily Show's Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah slams internet racists for hate against The Little Mermaid, cementing a disturbing trend aimed at the black actors in fantasy production.
Again, a bunch of internet racists are upset that a fictional character is being played by a black person. And honestly, I don't know what the big deal is.
You don't know what the big deal is? Really, Trevor? You don't know what the big deal is? First of all, the racist internet trolls are not a bunch. 3.5 million people is a mega multitude of people who are disgruntled with Disney's ideology of pushing identity politics rather than actually giving us entertainment and escapism. Second of all, you don't know what the big deal is. Imagine if they had done it the other way around for like a fictional character like Black Panther, for instance. What do you think would have happened? By now, if they had used a white actor like Ryan Gosling to play Black Panther instead of the late great Chadwick Boseman, we would have seen them trying to cancel Ryan Gosling on the internet. We would have seen a lot of people trying to cancel Disney on the internet. Matter of fact, people would have taken to the streets saying black actors matter, black fictional characters matter. Buildings would be burnt down, riots would be happening, a whole lot of destructions would have happened. And you're telling me you don't know what the big deal is? How come this only goes one way, where you're race swapping white characters for black ones or other races? However, it doesn't go the other way when you're taking a character of color or a black character and race swapping them into a white one. And if you argument that racist internet trolls were the only people that were hating on this, that is just racist people that just hate this, then what's your explanation for Black Panther getting so much love on Rotten Tomatoes? Where are the racist internet trolls then? Where are they? What about Black Panther Wakanda Forever, to which 94% of the audience actually loved it? Where are those racist people? And to prove that this isn't just something that you're getting on Rotten Tomatoes or they worked it out, well, take a look at the trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It currently sits as 1.5 million likes to 157,000 dislikes, which is the exact total opposite of what we're getting from this Disney Little Mermaid trailer. So if it was about fictional character, she's a fictional character. If it was about people hating black women and being misogynistic or misogynoir towards black women, as certain directors of certain movies like The Woman King has recently said, and movie director of Till said, it's misogynoir, which is misogyny against black women. Where is the misogynoir and the racist troll against this character that is currently played by a black woman? So that totally knocks that lazy argument out of the park. Now, given all of those articles that I showed you, I've been out there for the past 3, 4, 5, or 6 months now, and new articles have been coming out every day. Now, the question is attacking the fans actually working? Well, let's find out, as there is an outlet here, a Twitter handle, Poptins, who started to attack the fans as well. This Twitter handle has about 50,000 followers and has made a post that has seen up to 3.7 million views, calling to action. It says, hashtag Little Mermaid trailer on YouTube is currently being mass disliked by racists. And it now went on to say, the recently released trailer has over 600,000 dislikes and the teaser trailer over 3 million dislikes. Now, I hate to bust your bubble, Pop things, but it's over 3.5 million dislikes, and currently the latest trailer is sitting double the number that you said at 1.1 million dislikes to 208,000 likes, which is a worse ratio than the first one out there. Now, clearly, all of these attacks against the fans aren't working. And why would they work when fans clearly have legitimate reasons for not liking the new live action Ariel? Starting with the fact that Disney has been putting out soulless cash grabs after soulless cash grabs after soulless cash grabs. And people are sick and tired of Disney making these new remakes and then changing stories that were beloved and bastardizing culture, bastardizing the magic of these stories just to push identity politics. And there are other people out there who don't like the fact that the graphics are just absolutely absurd. These things look cheap, these things look horrible, and the new characters, the way that they shape them out, do not look anything like the originals, as they are trying to make them look as realistic as possible, and they look totally ridiculous. When it comes to the character herself, I have an issue with the fact that they are tokenizing this character and giving black people tokenized character. And as for black people who are celebrating this, I have this to say to you. Have you actually checked the messaging, which is the main criticisms I have for this thing? The messaging behind the character itself, as they are reimagining this character, they are whitewashing this character by race swapping the character, but also changing the character act of the very characters. We're finding out from Halle Bailey, who said how the Little Mermaid remake is more progressive, explained by the new Ariel. So let's find out what Halle Bailey actually had to say about where this character is going. What's beautiful about this version of the Little Mermaid is that it is a lot more modern. That's what they're saying. They're making it for modern audience. When we saw it, we were younger. She gave up everything for the guy. No, she did not give up everything for the guy. She gave up everything for herself because she liked the guy, which is something that they are trying to tell women today not to do, not to fall in love, not to sacrifice, not to do any of those things that traditional women would do for the person that they loved. But I don't think that reflects the modern woman today. And how is that working out for modern women today? Majority of them are out there in their 40s with a career, but crying and not finding full fulfillment. So why do you want to bastardize something that works for some people that doesn't work for others? I don't really care if you want to push feminist messaging, but you don't have to bastardize traditional women just to push feminist messaging. Now, she goes on to say, so now it's more about Ariel finding freedom for herself. Sounds more like finding herself, if you know what I mean. Because of this world that she is obsessed with. Prince Eric is a cherry on top, but it's not all about him. So this messaging is a feminist messaging that they are claiming that they want to push to more modern audiences. But who are the real audiences that they are trying to push this to? We saw that when we saw that little clip that was floating around every mainstream outlet media that you can see of black children, black little girls crying and screaming, Ariel is black, and all of that. So they are trying to actually indoctrinate children, which is my major criticisms and why I am angry with this whole idea of them race swapping, because Disney never race swap just for the sake of race swap. They race swap for pushing propaganda and messaging to indoctrinate little children, which is highly terrible. Now, I don't know how well this movie is going to do in the market, but the way it is going, it seems like they are desperate and they are afraid that this thing might bomb at the box office. And honestly speaking, the only way this can happen is if everybody decided to not just speak with their thumbs by hitting the likes down, but keeping their money like I am going to do, put my money in my pocket and just abscond from watching this thing, because I will not be a party to something that will be sending the wrong messaging, a messaging that has been destroying a certain community. They want to actually reaffirm it in that community to actually push them down a whole lot more. And don't worry about it, Disney is not only doing this towards black people, they're going to be using Snow White to push feminism towards Hispanic as well, and they're going to be using many of their movies to continue to push this thing towards every race on the planet until everything is chaotic. So this is the reason why I'm going to be keeping my money, and if this thing bombs, I am definitely all for it.